Alright, just We the People News. Never look straight forward, always look around you. Be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Arm yourself with knowledge. Okay, use that Second Amendment. Use your First Amendment and start speaking out on this. Use your right to regress, your grievance in these alleged corrupt times we live in. Alright, and let's go down right here right quick. Now, this lady right here, since we're on this deal, right? She is actually starting to come out and about and telling people how the government is so corrupt with administrative processes. And, you know, if you talk to the correct people who's not making money off of it, 95% of the laws out there is unconstitutional. Sit and think about that, y'all. And how do they keep getting by with it? Right? It couldn't be because of these people right here, could it? And I'm led to believe and do believe that they give remedy every so often to show good faith to the people to keep them non-intelligent and not doing research, not to read the Constitution and not read due process. Okay? They want you to get an attorney. And in case in point here in a minute, you're going to see why she kept on talking about a job. Okay? Because I have actually looked at this before starting it again because I wanted to kind of be familiar a little bit.
Objection, ma'am. I have not misstated. I have the videos. I have it on repeat 24/7. I've seen you say it.
I don't recall that I said I...
Now, even with that right there, why do you think they don't want you recorded? People like this is the reason why they stopped recording. That's the reason why they started pushing a narrative of not recording them in court. They're calling them out on their bull. Blah, 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 blah.
Lock you up.
Oh, objection, ma'am. That's on the record.
Well, you can object all that you want, sir. And I will continue to have a difference of opinion about that. All right. Well, we'll continue with today's proceedings then. And I certainly appreciate the courtesy that you extend to me. All right, Mr. Walker, I know that you're here.
Yes.
You wish to be heard, sir?
Your Honor, I have Kevin Walker appearing on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender. We did receive after the last hearing a court order directing the Office of the Public Defender to represent this defendant. I did file a motion for reconsideration, noting that there has been no indigency determination, which is an essential component of our appointment. So I would ask respectfully that an indigency determination be made at this time, and absent that earlier order directing to represent this defendant be vacated.
All right, thank you. Do you wish to be heard on the issue, Mr. Luciano?
No, Judge.
All right. I have inquired of Cheyenne Mutada Kushamirel concerning his employment. He tells me he is not employed in the state of New Jersey by any corporation, and therefore I determine that he does not have the present ability to pay for counsel to proceed in this matter.
Objection, ma'am. I don't know this gentleman. I haven't made any contracts with the Public Defender's Office. I don't know what that was an attempt to do, but he does not have the authority to speak for me. So I would appreciate it if any non-identified parties determining to act on my behalf first file IRS 156 and notify the IRS that they're acting in some sort of fiduciary capacity.
All right. Let's talk about the issue of, Mr. Walker, I want to talk about the issue of jurisdiction. One of the issues that has been raised in this case and has been raised over...
Now, recall this. So the attorney was called in to be his attorney. Now, he recused himself, and I'm sure that he sent some notices to that attorney, and that attorney's gone, no, don't want to be involved in this. But as he plainly says that, he was called in to represent this guy. And so he's basically just letting it be on the record that he didn't have no say about this.
And it really needs to be.
But in order for her to really get jurisdiction, because I'm led to believe that there was, well, he said there was other previous court cases. Not court cases. He may be fighting this one court case for a long time. But they wanted to try to push that attorney on there, because once you get attorney, that attorney will not fight for subject matter jurisdiction. He will not ask the judge this. And in fact, if you look on YouTube and when you see all these people challenging jurisdiction, they keep on saying they have it. But I have not yet seen, and I've seen a good couple of good attorneys I like, but when they talk about these things, they never explain how they have jurisdiction. And they won't.
Determined before we can proceed with it is with regard to jurisdiction. I have received, it was filed with the court, it was received in my chambers on January 7th. I'm not exactly sure if it was filed downstairs on a different day. Something that has been entitled a non-negotiable affidavit of fact to dismiss with prejudice for lack of personam jurisdiction, lack of discovery, and lack of an injured party. It purports to raise the issue before the court of lack of jurisdiction with regard to Cheyenne Mutada Cushing-Your L. Despite what Cheyenne Mutada Cushing-Your L says, this is not an application to the court to dismiss anything with anything. There are certain ways, as you are aware, Mr. Walker, to bring issues before the court.
That being said, I'm under the belief, because this has been an administrative process through here, that he used common law. So she's kind of denying the request due to that she's in that. Basically what she's saying is, your paperwork is the wrong jurisdiction. It's basically what she's saying. She's just not going to come out and say it.
What we need to do is have the issue brought before the court properly by way of a notice of motion. I don't even know if Mr. Luciano got a copy of this, but certainly you know that any motion filed has to be served on the prosecutor. How much time does your office need in order to do that? And did you receive a copy of this?
As I have not received a copy of that, and before I address that issue, I would respectfully request that you inquire into this defendant's assets to see whether he has a present ability to retain private counsel.
He tells me he isn't employed by a corporation, so...
Objection. This is obscene.
Sir?
I do not
This is a
understand.
conversation that I'm having with Mr. Walker, not with you. And the way you didn't want me to interrupt you, I would like you not to interrupt me or Mr. Walker.
Objection. This man cannot speak for me, man. I haven't filled out any public defender's applications nor contracts to agree to that. You cannot force me against my consent to have someone who I have no formal contract or agreement with to speak on my behalf. I'm a natural flesh and blood man. I don't have to have, yes ma'am, I do not have to have,
You are? He's standing right in front of you. They want him to be the legalized person, right? And again, see how she's pushing the issue for that attorney to be there. And if he did not object to it, well, he tacitly agreed to the terms for that attorney to speak before him. And if that would be the case, then the courts would actually have jurisdiction. Okay? Not really lawful jurisdiction, but jurisdiction one and the same.
an attorney at law, a colorable attorney at law, de facto attorney at law, propose or purport to speak for me in any regards to these matters at hand.
Let's see.
Now, there was a lot going on there, I guess, because that was what estimated, I can't remember what it was, but between 7 and 10 minutes. That's the reason why it jumped from one place to another one. I'm led to believe that she was just kind of reading and researching and trying to figure out some way to get jurisdiction. Because I don't think she has this problem every single day, so she's got to go and do the thinking process. How can I get jurisdiction?
March 23rd, sufficient time, Mr. Walker?
I think so,
All
Judge.
right. Then this matter shall be and hereby is continued until Monday, March 23rd at 9 o'clock.
Objection, ma'am. The notice.
Again, would that sound fine with you talking to the attorney? Again, this man right here has no contract at all to the courts or to that attorney. Sit and think about how that judge is so hard of pushing that attorney on him, when we have a right, good or bad, because, you know, the plea bar going to give you 5 years when your sentence is 10 years, but when you do a plea bar, when you do represent yourself, they're just going to say you're going to get the whole 10 years out of retaliation. They cannot have us normal people standing in the courts and calling them out on the crap. And again, I'm going to reiterate, I'm not a sovereign citizen. I just read.
Removal's already in. You will be receiving it today. So
If I receive it before March 23rd at 9 a.m., I am aware of my obligations when a matter has been removed to federal court. If for some reason the federal court does not accept it, or it's not properly filed, or there's something else, that's the next stage for this proceeding.
objection,
Thank you
ma'am.
very
I will
much.
not be participating in any more of these proceedings.
I think in this case he would be a little bit on the wrong. We've heard these things happening and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I say that, he needs to be there for the sole purpose, he needs to be here for the sole purpose of rebutting this attorney. Because if he's not there, then the court and the attorney is going to go ahead and steal jurisdiction from him. Okay? So, and again, I don't know this guy's name, but he sat there the whole entire time keeping his mouth shut. And he's the one that's supposed to have standing in this case, and he's supposed to provide it to the judge for subject matter jurisdiction or personal jurisdiction. That's who's supposed to have this jurisdiction. And he gives with the correct standing for the courts to be heard for the claimant, the person, or whatever you want to do it, right? They have standing. And then, you know, the alleged defendant now has got to come in and have an opportunity to be heard.
Do what you want.
I'm sorry, but I can do that.
This is the only notice that I will give you of the proceeding on March 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning. We don't send out letters reminding people. We simply expect that you will be here. Thank you very
Be
much.
contacted by my office who will arrange an interview in the office, and they'll have to sign it.
Do you have his address?
The address I have is the,
The PO box is right there.
Objection. If you attempt to contact me and negotiate any contracts with me, you will be getting sued in federal court too as well, sir.
Again, see how she pushed that and pushed and pushed? You guys think outside the box for a minute. Why was that such an issue when she can just basically say whatever ruling it is, and if she has jurisdiction, why does that attorney need to be there? Ask yourself that. Why does that attorney have to be there for his behalf if she has jurisdiction in this matter? She can keep going and sentence him for 20 years if she wants, or whatever, right? Wrong thing to do, but that being said, the attorney had to be there to get jurisdiction because the man knew how to go in there and challenge the jurisdiction in a good way, right? And again, court cases says once challenged, It needs to be clearly established. Clearly established. In both my videos, y'all, have you heard her clearly establish how she has jurisdiction? Have you heard from the plaintiff or the complainant? Have you heard from him that there's clearly established that he has jurisdiction? You guys think about that, okay? There's not a magic pill or witchcraft or anything going on that she has these magic powers that she has jurisdiction. And if so, she's definitely in silence acquiescence to the man. So she's actually tacit agreeing to his terms that there's no jurisdiction involved in this, because she's in silence acquiescence. And she, due to silence acquiescence, tacitly agreed to his terms. Well, she says she has jurisdiction, but since it's never been clearly established she's had it, she's still in silence acquiescence. Peace away, the People News. Bye, y'all.